There we go. Oh boy. Hey, what's up, FLP? What's up, Just? I'll wait for a couple other people to get here. Yeah, I kind of lost track of time a little bit. Looked down, it was like 8 o'clock. I'm like, oh, whoops. Yeah, I'm thinking next week I may finish out that Jedediah Smith, that history one I was working on there, and go from there. So how you two been doing? Possibly FLP. Depends. See, I never know when I'm going to be home or when I'm not going to be home. Be honest with you. Like the 17th, I'm going to be doing a barrel race on the 17th, so I probably ain't going to be home until about 11, 12 o'clock at night. Um, I'll let you know. The Fridays I'm not going to be here, I'll let you know. How about that? Because if I'm here, yeah, because if I'm here, I'll do it. But if not, well, you know, uh, yeah, like that on the 17th, that barrel race I'm doing a photography thing. So it's one of those things. If someone's giving you work, you don't turn it down. You know what I mean? How you doing, Frank? Like I think this is going to be the first Saturday I've been home to see SOS's chat for about the last 2 weeks. The last 2 weeks, week before that, I forget what I was doing then. Oh, I didn't even look yet. Just did. I'll look after the chat. I'll let you know. Um, yeah, the last 2 weeks. This past Saturday, I was doing a tractor pull with the camera, and then the Saturday before that, I actually had a date. I was like, I have a date. Really? Okay. I don't usually get a date very often, so kind of have to take those when you get them too. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure I did. That's one thing. I hardly. By the time I get done with everything, I'm shutting off the computer. I'm like, I have to look at my email. Damn. Yeah, but I finally got part 4 to the scenario up. Silly me forgot to put it in the playlist, so I'll probably do that after we're done here tonight. But yeah, the whole thing with this scenario is pretty much with the scenario, it's this was pretty much a softball. To be honest with you, it's a softball. The next one, I'm kind of slowly working on the next one, and the next one, not so much. It's, for lack of a better word, it's probably going to be slightly brutal. But the way I'm trying to do this isn't designed like there's no right or wrong answer. They're just designed to make you think about the situation and what's going on. But what I'm thinking about doing is here sooner or later. I'm trying to amass this a little bit more stuff, but I may start my own Patreon page too. And I think the way I'm going to do my Patreon page is it's going to be more of a supplemental. What's up, Rescue? It's going to be more of a supplemental for this page, and I'm just going to. You have to charge something. I'm only going to charge $1 for it, and $1 gets you everything. So I'm just gonna go from there. And what am I thinking? I should start this off with some cool. Well, I can still do the cool music. Oh, I know. It's just the Patreon for me is going to be more for stuff that I can't really post on YouTube. I wouldn't say I wouldn't say video wise, more like document wise. I'm It's free. I'll give it a try. What's the worst that can happen? I'm gonna be out a couple hours of my life. Man, it's a big deal. That's what I have work for anyway. Exactly. Like the scenarios, I was going to actually type out the scenarios and post those, just the scenario itself. And I'm not going to put what I would do, but I was going to post like each part of the scenario, so you like somebody else could print them off and do them with maybe a group on their own. Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to do, Rescue. That's what I mean. It's just going to be a supplemental for this. So it's just one of those things. Is I can't I can't put the documents on YouTube, but I can put the documents on Patreon. I do have another venue where I can put the documents at, but not everybody has Facebook. I have Facebook just because of my photography business, so I have to have a Facebook for that to do the photography to set the photography page. But if I delete my page, my photography page goes with it. So I could post them on Facebook as well. But I actually have a Diggers Outdoors page on Facebook, and nobody even goes on the thing. So I'm like, okay, I'm just kind of wasting my time here. But it's just one of those things. I mean, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm not going to cry one way or the other over it. um, one thing I'm hoping to do this weekend, because I'm not. Let me check my schedule here real quick. Because I don't think there's a tractor show this weekend, but I don't think I'm going to be going to it. This tractor show, when it rains down there, it's like slogging around in the mud. And I'm just like, I'm not taking my camera slogging around down there in the mud and I have to pay like $10 to get into place. I'm like, nah, not feeling it because it's supposed to rain. It's supposed to rain from what I heard all weekend. So yeah, I'm not quite feeling that. So I'm probably going to be home. So if it doesn't rain too much here, I'm going to try to record a ride or two on the mountain bike behind the house. I have well, the trails you see me walking on, the lower trails that you see me walking on when I do my camera work in the woods, they're wide enough to ride. There's no logs or anything down, so I could ride them. Plus, there's a couple of the trails have some features. So, actually, what the weekend here's been was beautiful. Not a drop of rain all weekend. Yeah, it's pretty much about right though, Rescue. That's about right. Like for doing my job, because all the rain around Pittsburgh's been predicted for like evening and afternoons. So as soon as I leave my job, it's a race to try to get back to shop before it starts to rain. And I beat the rain and stayed dry all day. And on the way back to the shop, that's when the heavens will unleash. It's kind of interesting driving an Isuzu box truck on the turnpike going about 70 miles an hour and just run into a wall of water. Hey, what's up, Backwoods? Hey, Backwoods, you see any rain today? Yeah, it says it's supposed to rain, but like here on this side of the state about 3 o'clock, and I ain't seen nothing. What's up, Wes? Oh, yeah, it's been beautiful here all day. I'm just like, what's this? What's this rain you speak of? I'll take it, but what's this rain you speak of? Yeah, if it seems like I'm wiggling around, is my back's been bothering me all day. I've kind of like I've one messed up vertebrae, and it's been kind of bugging me all day. So I go through periods like that, and tomorrow will be just fine. I think just something's out of line. How you doing, Chris? Yeah, see, I was going to have a subject today, but the way everything worked out because I had two runs I had to do. And usually, the second run, I could sit down and actually think about stuff. Well, I went in, did everything I had to do, and by the time I got done with everything I had to do, they pretty much had me ready to go right back out the door again. So I was like, well, okay. But as I said, this is an outdoors channel. I do like to focus on the prep and stuff and the SHTF stuff and all that. But one thing I kind of was looking at today was just mountain biking in general because it's like as I said, I have like an outdoors channel, so all this kind of fits in with all this stuff kind of dovetails together somewhere down the line. I was watching some mountain biking before I started today, and there's a page called the Global Mountain Bike Network, which is kind of interesting. But some of the things that they're covering is like what to do, what not to do, how to ride stuff, how not to ride stuff. It's kind of interesting because this is something like you see. I don't know if you guys seen the video of me just kind of taking a bike back to Barn Road and back, just um, just to give it a shakedown, see how I was going to ride. But actual woods riding, I haven't done in 15, yeah, about 15 years. Like I rode that bike pretty hard for about 2 years, and I changed jobs and haven't really ridden it too much since. Um, Backwoods probably knows what I'm talking about. I used to work in Wexford, and after work, I had a pickup truck at the time. After work, I had to have my bike in the back of my truck, and I drive like right over the hill down to North Park and right around North Park for a couple, 2, 3 hours before I come home. So I mean, I got a lot of riding there, but um, Saturn closed, and I went to another dealership, and it's like in the middle of town, and there's like nothing. And so it's like, okay, like I've had where I ended up working at, I had stuff stolen out of the back of my truck. So I'm like, I ain't put my bike back there. Crazy. Oh, that's awesome, Chris. That's absolutely awesome. Chipper with the street cred here. How you doing, Chip? Hey, Chandra, how you doing, hon? But the nice thing about this is when it comes to riding my mountain bike, though, is I have a fairly physical job where I'm on my feet. I drive a lot, but I'm on my feet a lot too. Um, I used to wear like a Fitbit on my job, and I would walk just to my job doing deliveries. I walk upwards of 23 miles a day, and that's just not walking in and walking back out with nothing. Like I'm usually handling something heavy in and out, so the whole it's like a 10-hour workout. I'm afraid to ask, Wes, why do you smell like an Alaskan fisherman? Were you fishing for them gar again? Okay, Rescue, you have a nice night, bud. Spicy hippies? Spicy hippies. I like that term, spicy hippies. Oh, that'd be awesome, Chris. And that's like one of those things that you could watch 10 people, like what Chris is talking about, sharpening knives. You can watch 10 people sharpen knives, and each one of them have their own little thing that they do. And like each one of those 10 will do something slightly different. Exactly. Just what backwoods law says. I'm almost the type of person I could watch a video on something or read something, and every time I either watch or read something, I'll pick up something different every time. It's like the first time you read or watch something, you kind of get like the major gist of it, and you pick up some stuff. Like the second or third time, maybe you watch something, you start picking up the finer stuff, the smaller stuff. Yeah, that is the big black X from Texas. Okay. What I think she got backwards in the FLP. Sounds like she got herself a 50-pound bag of coffee. What's up, Blue? I have no idea. I haven't tried in years, Just Ed. So I'm basically starting over from scratch. But after my birthday, I actually want to go on vacation since I decided I'm not going to do the hike. What I was thinking about doing is I was going to try to hit some rails to trail stuff. Um, Rails to trails around here, the biggest incline you're going to go up is going to be 2%. Um, but it's good because, hey, what's up, Life on the Trail? It's good because it's not that strenuous, but you constantly have to keep pedaling while you're going up or down because that 2% isn't enough to keep you going to let you coast. You constantly have to stay pedaling, but it's not hard. But my plan is I want to go do a rails to trails thing and do 10 miles out and 10 miles back for the first shot because I said it's not hard, but it's constant, and you just have to start building myself back up again. Oh, you Thursday you're going to Indiana, Chandra? I guess so. That's what it was just asked. Awesome. Maybe I'll give me something else to do in September when I go on vacation. I'll go visit Chandra. She's only gonna be 2 states away at that point, so okay. Is your do you have a, email on your YouTube on your main YouTube page, or Wes, in your about section? Okay, but after this is over, I'll email you there. Yeah, and depending on where you go in Indiana, I think there's a ton of stuff to do in Indiana. Um, I had a cousin who used to live there, and I can't remember the state park. It says state park. He think he lived central Indiana, if I'm not mistaken. Kind of out in the country. He wasn't. He's out in the country, New Albany. Okay, but there's a state park in Indiana he absolutely loves. So you can go in there and walk around for hours and not see a single soul. Okay, K. Yeah, with this big, long, elaborate text message, and the only response you get back is K. I'm like, why do I type all this? Oh, I heard that too. There's a cemetery around here that I want to go to. I just want to see how exactly. But there's a cemetery here, like real close to the house. It's right in the middle of a brand new housing plan. Though they couldn't take it out, so they kind of made it a feature of the housing plan. But I want to go see if I can get some pictures and some rubs off of some of the tombstones. The one person that's buried in the cemetery was a Revolutionary War soldier that died, I think. I think he died about 10 years after the Revolutionary War was over. And how you doing, Lou? I don't think I said hi to you yet. Chandra's been hanging out with HTP. He does the same. I'll post something and go, Roger. Huh. But yeah, for the one for next Tuesday, I'm actually going to try to have a subject. Right now, I have just about as much fun just sitting there shooting the breeze with you guys, too. Oh, I got you, Chandra. I got you there. Around here, it's not Roger, it's over. If I had the time and money and strength and willpower and didn't like to sleep that much, yeah, I probably would, Wes. But yeah, one thing I am planning on doing though with the bike, you're talking about the bike air, is I'm gonna see if I can find a different set of forks and a different rear shock for it. The rear shock I have on mine has a coilover spring on it, and that shock and spring combination on there is pretty much a suggestion. It doesn't really do anything. So what I did is I took and I wound the adjuster on the spring down on the bike to the point that I made the rear end completely solid. It doesn't move up, it doesn't move down. It's just solid, like almost like I welded it in place. Oh, she got herself a little Ford Expedition. Oh, sweet. Those are nice little trucks. Well, what am I talking about? Little Expedition is pretty much a full cab F-250, depending on what you got. There's a couple people running around with the Expeditions around here running on with Power Stroke diesels in them. That's probably where FLP went too, just to see what she got. But yeah, those Expeditions are nice vehicles. I like them. I just don't have enough money to keep one fed. 7.3 Power Stroke. There you go. Yeah, hey, backwards. That does that look? I'll probably go watch that after this is over. But does that Expedition look like it has any lift on? Or is it pretty much stock right now? Yeah, because we have one guy running around here. He has one of those with the 7.3 Power Stroke. He put about 3 or 4 inches of lift, and I think he has like 33-inch tires on it. But that thing will you point that thing in directions, it doesn't ask questions. It goes. It just goes. Chandra with the taser. That's scary. Ooh. Of course, I can't be too much. Uh, well, Chandra can't be any worse with a taser. I am with my collapsible baton. So She got the perfect setup, man. Yeah, because that expo ain't gonna ask questions. She points that thing in a direction, it's just going to go. Put her 4-wheel drive point in a direction, she's as good as there. No, that'd be one thing I would love to get my hands on. But as I said, I have to keep my vehicles to one because I just I can't keep that thing fed with what I'm getting paid right now. And then driving to the vehicle I have to be able to drive back and forth to work, and my round trip's about 72 miles. Oh, this thing must have fell in her lap, and she probably just jumped on this thing. And nice plate steel bumpers. And one thing nice about the plate steel bumpers, if you do them right, you could turn if you could get one and keep it from leaking, you can make a pressure vessel out of it and use that for an air tank. I've seen a lot of I've seen a lot of people do that. A lot of people run trails. Um, they'll run it like an extra accessory drive off the motor, run an air pump, and put about 120 pounds of air pressure like in the bumper. And when it comes time to refill the tires at the end of the trail, they just chuck an airline right into the bumper and air up and go. I mean, that's a slick little setup there. Well, it's not too bad. I mean, in my little Jeep, I'm getting like 24 and a half on that, but I'm less than half the size of that 7.3. Let me see. I have 2.4. So it'd take about three of my engines to make one of hers. Humvees, no, it depends on which one you're looking at. The H1s, I think, were upwards about 8 liters, I believe. Either 8 or 6.5. But the one thing about the Humvee, like the military Humvee, that I remember the days of 8 miles a gallon. I drove my dad's Ford 460 back and forth to work when I worked at Wexford. I was getting about 6 miles to the gallon out of that thing. Actually, that's not a bad little truck there, Chandra. Those little, especially old school Forerunners, so you can take the tops off the back of them. Oh, those things are just like the pickup trucks. They will run forever. You'll replace bodies long before you replace frame or motor or transmission. Yeah, I was actually thinking about trying to find for my little gas job. I was thinking about trying to find fuel additive for that, try to eke a little bit more mileage out of it. I topped that thing out at I think 24.9 miles per gallon, and that's all the further. That's all the better gas mileage I can get. But as I said, for my little deal I got there, I'm not. It's all time all wheel drive, so I'm not complaining about 24.5. Hey, what's up, Smolo? Oh, I've watched that many times. Especially, I love when they put the little Toyota Hilux on top of the building, and then they blew the building up, and it still survived. I'll keep my ears open for you there, backwoods. The barrel racing people I'm around, they're constantly buying and selling pickup trucks all the time. Actually, if I remember it, I've heard about those things. Those little Panda 4x4s, fun little vehicles. Yeah, we just don't have them over here. Like myself, like Chandra wants her Forerunner. My thing is I'd like to get like an older Jeep Cherokee, um, pre pre. That's the one I want to get a Jeep Cherokee with a 4.0 automatic. I'd actually rather find one with a 5 speed. I know they made them with a 5 speed. But Dana 44's front and rear run between 30 to 35-inch tires and air lockers. I know more than one person that has a combination like that. They use just to go have fun and go wheeling with. It's you can't really kill the thing. Exactly, Wes. Field's starting to come back. They got the 500 here, and then they have that Spider here. There you go, FLP. That's not doing too bad. Hey, what's up, Akeisha? Oh, it's okay. We're just sitting here shooting the breeze tonight, so no real topic. Just sit there. We've been talking about trucks for about I think about the last 20 minutes. So Oh, you can't get audio. Huh. One second here. Oh yeah, I've heard samurais. Buddy of mine, well, actually buddies of mine, had a Suzuki club, and they used to take Suzuki Samurais and Suzuki Sidekicks and make rock crawlers out of them. The one, he yanked a four-cylinder out of it. He put a 2.8 in there out of a Camaro, and his own four-wheel drive setup. Oh yeah, this Suzuki. Oh, I'm sorry, fingers. I, well, I've had this. Well, I actually had never. I had to start the stream twice. I started it and it says, "Well, we can't do it." Then I'm like, you know what? Try it again, and it finally went for me. Okay, see you later, Chandra. Yeah, Wes. Buddy of mine had like about four of those things. Those little 22Rs are like indestructible. He had the 22R, what's electronic fuel injection. He had like two of them that were carbureted, and he had one that had the that somebody put the Minuki, I think it's Minuki fuel injection on it, and all of them ran great. Myself personally, even though it wouldn't be that great for an EMP, the fuel injected one, the factory fuel injector one, probably ran the best. How you doing, Miss West? I've done stuff like that too, smoking. It's just like, okay, this account isn't working. Let's try this one. And unfortunately, I'm only down to one account here in YouTube. The last time it gave me error messages like this is probably about 3 or 4 months ago, and I totally shut the computer off and just fired everything back up. And when I finally got back into YouTube, it was running fine. So I was like, okay. Um, how you doing, Granite? Wes, you ever hear of? I think it was called Downey Off Road. They specialize in Toyota stuff, all kinds of Toyota stuff, lift kits, air lockers, um, beefed up transfer cases, anything for Toyota. Donnie carries it. Performance parts, anything you're looking for. Okay, backwoods. What's up, Gray? Yeah, Toyotas are nice. The little Jeep Cherokees are nice. Like the reason I want to go with a 4.0 and a 5 speed is I've known a lot of people that had that combination, and it's pretty much bulletproof. I've only known about two or three people that actually blow up a 4.0, and before the 4.0 will blow up, it had about 400,000 miles, and they did something stupid, incredibly stupid. And we're talking like tack the engine up about 5 grand and dump the clutch and hope the engine doesn't scatter as you're floating cylinders. Floating valves. I'm like, and you wonder why the engine blew up. Really? Mm. Either that, or if I can't get the Cherokee, like one of the old square headlight Wranglers, with the 4.0, I'd be happy with that. No, it's just, oh, you had a Peugeot bicycle Smolo. Oh, that is awesome. Ah, video but no audio. There's one time I had audio, I didn't have a video. I seen the same picture. And I heard all the audio, and it's just never didn't see anything move on the screen. I'm like, okay, yeah, but I'm hoping. Talking about the screen, I'm hoping next week. I wanted to do it this week, but I had some bills to pay, so I'm a little bit short on cash this week. That I'm going to have a decent webcam and a little bit of a different lighting setup, because this light here, it's like I have to sit like way back from the camera, because if I get close to it, my face is completely whites out. Plus, the camera I have on here is like my hand leaves trails all over the place. Yeah, that Peugeot bike, was that an aluminum frame or was that a carbon fiber frame? Oh yeah, I hear you there, Gray. Those Rubicons are nice, but well, I couldn't even afford a 2 door. Like I was looking at, I just wanted a simple 2 door Wrangler. 2 door Wrangler with maybe some little bit more beefier tires on it. Ah, That's right. They were magnesium. Yeah, just don't get the Peugeot bike too close to a flame. Actually, Grant, I actually got the camera to do it. I'm actually gonna try to use my GoPro as a webcam, so I could have get multi-purpose use out of the GoPro. Oh, I hear you there, Miss West. Those '80s Broncos. I knew a buddy of mine. There's a couple years of that where they actually made the Broncos with a 460 in it, and he had a 460 Bronco with a 4-speed top loader in it. Oh man, that thing was wicked. Um, I think I may know of a way that you can afford. It won't be an actual C5, but I know a way you can make your own C5 there backwoods. You ever hear of Ford WD over in Columbiana, Ohio? Ford WD is they specialize in Jeeps, all kinds of Jeep stuff. And it's not that far from you. I mean, heck, from Butler, you could be down to Columbiana probably in about an hour and 15 minutes, if not, yeah, hour and a half, hour 15 minutes, somewhere around in there. Yes, they are. The main office was always in Columbiana, Ohio. They've been there, I think, for about 40 years, as long as I can remember. I remember passing their thing on Route 14 for years. But they sell frames, they sell fiberglass bodies, and just about anything else you need to make a Jeep. You could actually go grab one of the catalogs or go online and build a Jeep from the frame up, including the frame. Exactly. Hey, what's up, HDP? Yeah, has Sean been hanging out with you, HDP? Oh, I hear you. Yeah, I know. I hear it. I'm the same way because I've been wanting to do a scrambler. I love scramblers, and I didn't have a chance. There was one that was sitting down on 51 down by Chippewa. an original scrambler. I'm sitting there, oh, I need to look at that, but I never had time on the rod. I was running time to stop and look at it. And when I finally had time to stop and look at it, it was gone. But I don't think they wanted that much money for it because I can see a price on the window and I can see there's only three zeros behind it and one number in front of it. And those scramblers are kind of like a CJ5. They're a rare bird and they go for lots of money. Yeah, if I did have the time for that, and I did build a Jeep from yeah, a lot of people actually call the scrambler CJ9, either CJ8 or CJ9, even though they weren't either. A scrambler was like a beast of its own. Probably a 69 because I think in 1970 the CJ7 started. Oh yeah, those old Jeeps you couldn't kill those things either. You could a buddy of mine had a CJ5 and it was a heap. When he got it, it was so rusted up that the first thing he did is he cut the whole back half off the body because it was the the body mounts were rotted, the floor was rotted, and all it was like just the back part of the outside of the body, and it was just flopping in the breeze. Let's see. Well, I can't thumbs up myself. Damn. Yeah, the first thing he did is he cut off like the back part of the body. It put like a little put like a little wood platform on the back of it, which was kind of funny. Which is kind of funny. Is like we did that, and oh, there we go. We did that with his oh, what was that? We did that with the CJ5. We put like that little wooden bed on the back of it, and just tack welded a couple bars in the back, just keep. Basically, that was his go kart. Neither one of us were old enough to drive. We used to drive that thing all over the farm. Oh, we beat the living hell out of that poor thing. And then when he sold it, and I think somebody we were driving. He was not we. He was driving in the middle of the field, and the guy walked up and says, "I'll give you $40,000 the way this thing sits right now." He's like, "Sold." Old C.W. McCall with a van load of Jesus freaks, right? I haven't talked trucks and jeeps for like this for a while. Yeah, I was actually having them here because I could tell when the lagging starts is the chat will disappear. The chat disappeared. I'm just kind of like that's why I kind of stopped for a little bit, let everything catch up, and yeah, not with the diesel engine, but people used to live across the road from us. They had like three of them had the 348 Internationals in it. Um, for diesel engine, I found a nice little diesel engine I like to throw in a Jeep or something like that. The power of Grayskull. I have not heard that uttered in decades, FOP. Decades. But there's some of the trucks we drive, the older Isuzus that didn't have the tier 3 or tier 4 emissions on them. they had a 5.2 liter turbocharged four cylinder, and those things, talk later, Chris. Those things are little torque monsters. I mean, you probably couldn't get the Jeep to go over 70 miles an hour to save its life, but I mean, the engine itself was a little torque monster. When I first started the job I'm at, all our Isuzus were 5 speed. Hey, China, how you doing? They were not 5 speed; they're 6 speed manuals. And what I found out is we're goofing off one day, and I'm like, I wonder if I put this thing in six and started up the hill, what would happen? Put in sixth gear, gave a little bit more gas than what I should have, let off the clutch, and it started climbing the hill in sixth gear, chugging its way up. I'm like, really? Oh yeah, yeah. Those are not Renaults were nice. And one thing I'm surprised, especially after what happened out in Missouri with that duck tours, Pittsburgh's still running theirs. Pittsburgh in the Three Rivers area has duck tours in those World War II duck deuce and half jobs. They run all over town. I'm just like I don't care about what happened in Missouri. I want to try that. Yeah, thank you for the sub, China. Yeah, but I think is one part of me says those ducks would make a nice SHTF vehicle. In another way, I don't think so. The way they'd be nice is if you actually live close to a river or lake or whatever, you just sit there and just go straight across, pop out the other side, and keep on going. If you actually had to take the thing off road, the problem lies in is the hull in those things are so low that you may be high centering on stuff. So there's get even with those ducks is give and take. Now regular deuce and a half can eat the snot out of just about anything you threw in front of it, but just can't really do that much with water. Give and take. What? Tell their lazy ass to go fill the damn tires up. That's what they're going to do. They're going to knock $1,000 off for. Wait a second. They're going to knock off 4BT diesel. Ooh. Oh, I get you. I've worked in the automotive industry for 17 years. And I've seen some pretty shady stuff go down. But knocking $1,000 off because the tire pressure is a little bit low, and the first thing they're going to do once she trades the car is go and pump the tires up in about 30 seconds for nothing. Yeah, come on now. Oh, like you should see what they did. You should see what they tried doing to my mother. My mother drove in a Ford pickup truck looking to buy another pickup truck to pull a horse trailer. She pulled in this one car lot, and the salesman come up and says, "Oh, how you doing, Missy? We'll get you out of that pickup truck, get you in a nice little car." And my mother's like, kind of looked at me like, "What?" "Oh, we'll get you in a nice little car." My mother looked at him and goes, "I'm looking for another pickup truck bigger than this one." "Oh, you don't need that." Mom's like, "Bye." That's the whole thing. My mother's a 70-year-old lady, and she's just as home jumping in one of them big pickup trucks with pulling a gooseneck as she is jumping in her little Equinox and driving down the road. Hmm. Okay, this is getting old quick. And boom. What's up, Jay? Okay, that's enough of that. It's kind of like that other guy. I think, did you get that guy in FLP's chat that kept on bugging everybody to sub to him? That was getting old quick. Hey, let me see. There's Jay Grayman. Okay, yeah. How you doing, Jay? Oh, not too bad. Not too bad. We're sitting there yapping about trucks. So, oh, I like yapping about cars and trucks. Oh, no problem. Backwoods. I figured between one of us would get him sooner or later. So that's cool. Oh, yeah. Before I forget, there's somebody else I want to wrench here. Boom. And wrenching complete. Exactly. Oh, there she is. New wrench. Yes, she is. Oh, I've seen how fast she. I've seen how fast she can monkey wrench somebody. I mean, she's faster than Annie Oakley. Ruh-roh. What? What? Why would Daniel want to do that? Okay. Oh, okay, 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 okay. And that's the whole thing. Is I've if you look through my videos, I actually talk about my own OPSEC, about my name and everything. People around here already know who I am by name. And it's just like, well, I'm not even going to try to keep it hidden. It's like, I won't use my name on here, but if somebody uses my name, I don't mind. It's no biggie. I got you, BWL. I mean, it's to me, it's no biggie. People know who I am because my photography company. Oh, I hear you, FLP. Yeah, because a lot of people know me for my real name and my photography. I wouldn't call it a company. My photography business, if I could talk here, is called EG Blank Photography. Simple as that. So I mean, it's my name's part of my photography business, so it doesn't bother me. Now, what I do for a living, I've mentioned that I drive, but that's about it. That's all you're going to get out of that. And when I'm ready, I'm going to email a couple of you about that because I know it won't go any further than that. But it can be some pretty heavy stuff. Let's put it that way. But yeah, it's some fun stuff. Which talking about that, I actually had a thought. about making. Oh, I wish I was a stock car driver. If I was a stock car driver, I'd be doing this, but I'd still be in the stock car right now. Oh, that's cool. Actually, the what I drive right now only empty only weighs about 13,000. Full weighs about 22. I'm like just under where I'm like about 1,000 pounds under where I need where I actually need a B class license. So that's a funny thing. I don't watch college football. I have no inkling to watch college ball at all. And the only yeah, pretty much beat backwoods, pretty much. But I was looking through a couple things. A lot of people have been buying those Isuzus that I drive, buying them up, putting a four wheel drive, putting a four wheel drive drivetrain underneath of them with that four cylinder turbo diesel, and those things will go everywhere. They're like little billy goats. I'm like, and but they'll turn around and charge about $200,000 for the thing, unfinished. And I'm sitting there looking at what they use. I'm like, let me see, I could get the axles for about $1,000 a piece, that for that much, and you could build the thing. You could build a thing for probably about including the price of the used Isuzu, which you could get for under 10 grand. You could probably build it for about 20 grand. Yep. And the funny thing is that company in California has bought trucks off us before. That's an interesting image, Lou. No, it's not that kind of video. Uh, yeah, but I'm hoping next week that I'm gonna have a little bit softer light here. It's gonna be brighter but softer. I'm gonna try to figure out how to do that. Hey, Cheryl, what's up? Hey, at least it froze around here for hockey. Very much TMI, Lou. Yeah, what I'm looking at. Actually, I'm almost to the point. I hope we actually get a serious, nice powdery snow for a while. I would like to try get a used pair just to see if I like it. Get a used pair of cross country skis and try that. Oh heck! About how when Lake Arthur freezes over, about how many hockey rinks do you think you put on that? About a couple hundred. And that's one thing. I've actually been out on Lake Arthur, like when it's been frozen over. That just freaks me out. I guess I'll never be one for ice fishing. Never. Oh, it can get plenty cold up here. Where you at again, Gray? Don't laugh, Akeisha. I've done that before. Hey, Ashley. Northern Minnesota. Okay. Actually, I probably wouldn't mind going back to Minnesota and the Dakotas at least one more time. Oh, Seminole. I had a buddy who was a fireman that what they used to do is if they had a fire in those negative 30-degree days, they'd actually, I wouldn't say fight, but they would argue to be the one to get closer to the fire so they could stay warm. And what's crazy is, ooh, that's brutal. Negative 74 is just brutal. You just you just missed us talking about trucks, Wes. We're talking about trucks now. We're talking about wind chill factor and cold. But I know with my route in the wintertime, down to about 30 degrees, I'll still be delivering a t-shirt. Oh, I can imagine. Just kind of stand the uniforms around in the garage so they thaw out and they hit the floor. Then you can go from there, right? Now it depends on where you want to be. Nice red trucker at Lakeisha. If you want to go up and run the Dalton up in Alaska, I'll go with you. But if it's but if it's like running those ice roads like up that diamond mine across those lakes, not so much. Not feeling it. See, I want to run the Dalton. The Dalton looks like it'd be fun. I'm just reading the comments here and I'm trying not to start laughing hysterically. They'll see it Seminoles. Okay. Oh, I tell you what, the route that I'm on now, I am actually not. Usually, a lot of the last route I had in the winter wasn't really that bad. This one I'm not looking forward to, especially if it snows heavy in Oakland. That's not going to be fun at all. Oh, geez. Oh man. Still doing the college football talk here. Oh, I got plenty of those, Dre. Plenty of those. Lots of those. Every day with those. Never fun. Well, actually, it is fun, but it's still like I spend 10 to 12 hours a day with my head on a swivel. It's up to you whether you want to mention that or not. Actually, myself, I just don't watch college ball. Not football, not basketball, not baseball, not hockey, not even tiddlywinks. Not college sports is. Eh. In fact, the only team that I watch if I'm actually home is the Steelers, and that it is what it is. And see, actually, I'm probably gonna stop watching that too because it just doesn't do anything for me. The last about 5 times I've watched the Steelers play, they lost. I'm like, you know what? I'm done. I'm done. That was kind of like one of my guilty little pleasures is I'd watch football every now and again, and I can't even do that and enjoy it anymore. So I'm like, well, time to find another guilty pleasure. I hear you there, backwoods. That's what I'm kind. That's what I'm kind. If I'm going to sit down, I'm going to actually watch TV and watch sport on TV. It's going to be something I enjoy, not something I feel like I have to watch, but something I enjoy. And lately, it's been like not even NASCAR. I've been watching like the American Le Mans series every now and again. Um, the British touring cars, stuff like that. I mean, it, and people. What's funny is people's like, "Oh, there's NASCAR drivers. They drive hard." Like you have not seen the British Touring Car Championship. These guys are absolute lunatics. I mean, is Just State still in here? I mean, he'll probably tell you the same thing. Yeah, Justin's still in here. See, I watch rodeo every once in a while too. But what's kind of funny is when I watch rodeo. What's up, Just? Hey, Justin, you ever watch the British Touring Car Championship? I remember American Gladiators. That was a fun show. That show was just fun, especially that if somebody had like a big. I just read that now. That's hysterical. Fingerlings Prepper here channeling his inner George Carlin. Yeah, but when I watch rodeo, I like watching a bull ride, but I get really interested watching the barrel racing. And that's because I was a barrel racer years ago. So it's just like I could sit there. Oh, there you go, backwoods. But I watch a barrel racing, and I wouldn't say critique, but I could sit there and watch it, see where they make. I could already see where they make the mistakes and where they pick more time up and lost some time and everything else. So it's just this is one of the sports I've been around for like almost 40 years now. So it's like I kind of know sport inside and out. You know what, Wes? You bring up a very good point. And why stop the play? Why stop the play? Don't stop the play. In fact, I think it should be every man, put all 22, put the whole all 56 men from each team on the field, set the ball in the middle of the field, and it's every man for himself. Whoever holds on to the ball the longest for 4 hours wins and gets $1 million check. Oh, that's cool, Just. That's cool. I mean, I wouldn't even say rugby. Rugby actually have teams that try to help each other out. I'm saying you got 56 and 50, 112 people trying to kill each other over one ball. As I said, 112 people, every man for himself. Whoever holds on to the ball the longest wins. Exactly, Wes. Yeah, it's just one of those things. It's just like I can't. Oh, like, we actually had a football player here years ago that sat out 3 games because of a hangnail. I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? So this guy is sitting out 3 games because he's too much of a damn wuss to get a pedicure. Come on, man. I'm trying to remember what I did with mine because I actually washed mine. I can't remember why I washed mine for. I had deer skins. I washed mine, and when they came out of the dryer, I actually put them on while they're still wet to keep them from shrinking until they're almost dry. And that's when I took them back off. Yeah, yeah, you're absolutely right, Lakeisha. That's why, like, and even with the motorsports, NASCAR's that way anymore. Everybody calls NASCAR a redneck sport. I'm just like, well, I don't think it's too much of a redneck sport anymore, especially when people are there for a while. People were ditching Indy kart because the IRL and kart were still separate at the time, and ditching Formula One to drive for NASCAR because that's where the money was. I'm just like, okay, I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. It's not a redneck sport when the drivers of the in NASCAR are getting paid more than the drivers in Formula One, which is the richest motorsport in the world. Yeah, that don't fly anymore. And not so much anymore, Gray. I used to watch it when it was a redneck sport. Everybody calls it a redneck sport now. I watched it when it was a redneck sport. When Dale Earnhardt was starting. I wouldn't say when he was starting, but I've been watching NASCAR since the 1979 Daytona 500. I haven't missed one yet, and it is so far from redneck that it's your local guys, your dirt track guys, that's still redneck. You get up into the NASCAR series, any one of those three series, it's not so much redneck anymore. Way too much money being thrown around to be redneck. And there's nothing wrong with rednecks. It's just one of those things. It's just like everybody calls NASCAR redneck sport. And when you're going to Ruth Chris Steakhouse and all these other places, way back in the day, if a NASCAR driver was going to take a potential sponsor out to dinner, they would go to the local barbecue pit. Now they go to the richest place you could think of in New York to wine and dine a potential sponsor for a multi-year contract. Way back when it was a quote unquote redneck sport, the only person that had a multi-year contract was Dale Earnhardt with the first one was Dale Earnhardt with GM Goodwrench, and before that he had Wrangler for multi-year, and their Waltrip had Gatorade, and everybody else had like a different sponsorship year to year. Hey, what's up, JRP? Oh, got that right, Cheryl. Where do you think I came up with the Moonshiner Stomp at? I was good at that. Well, she's talking about rednecks. I'm a redneck, and I used to race sports cars. So what am I talking about? But the thing about, well, I won't say I raced sports cars. I raced against sports cars. I autocrossed for 10 years. That's a form of sports car racing. And I was taking them on in my S10 pickup truck, and I was usually in my class beating most of them. And they scratch their head like, wait a second, why is my top of the line sports car getting beat by whooped up pickup truck? Because nobody ever told these guys with autocross it's not what you drive, it's how you drive it. Oh, some of the stuff we used to do around here. Oh, the one road across the street called Center Drive has this real fine. They used to put real fine cinder gravel on it, and they used to put it on thick, so it'd be like sand. And it was over 200 yards long. We used to have it's straight as an arrow too. We mark off about 150 yards, which at the time was about the same size as a short sand drag track. And we'd have people come from all over the place. We'd sand drag quads on that thing all day long. And down the road in front of my house, by the time we were done, there was more cinder gravel in the middle of the road in front of my house. There actually wasn't a road it came off of. Oh, police loved us, but it was a private road and they couldn't say anything about it either. Well, you got one of those GTOs with the LSs in it. Yeah, those are pretty quick. A buddy of mine has one. That had some engine work done to it. They put it on the dyno. His dyno went out right now at about 170 mile an hour, and about 550 to 600 horse, somewhere around in there. Oh, this is true, BWL. This is very true. Ah, that's nice, FLP. That is nice. Just out of curiosity, no, you know what? I won't ask that. Like my buddy's is his is orange. It's like that burnt orange color. I love that color. And of course, they didn't have. Hey, what's up, Savage? They didn't have the Jeep Renegade in burnt orange. So I got like the bright orange. So my Jeep looks like a giant safety road cone going down the road. You can't miss it. Hey, what's up, AJ? Eddie Hill. Oh, I know who Eddie Hill is. Eddie Hill and his nuclear banana. Used to drive for super shops. I think he was the first one to eclipse 280 miles an hour as well. Oh, black on black. I love that combination. I'd never own it, but I love that combination. And the only reason I would never own it is nothing against your car. Is I used to detail cars for a living, and black was the bane of my existence. You probably noticed that with that black car. It's like you can't even breathe on that car, and it looks like it's dirty. Meanwhile, I won't own a white car either. White is probably one of the easiest colors to take care of. I could do a quick once over on a white car and it look clean, and I could hide a bunch of stuff on. Nobody ever know the difference one way or the other. A black car, it better be right first time, because the more you mess with it after that, the worse it gets. Oh, Chevelles are nice. No, you should see them out here in Lernerville. You ever watch the World Outlaws? Lernerville is what they call a short half mile, and they'll be running around that track about 170 mile an hour. Yeah, I know. Still, once it's clean, though, it's probably the most beautiful thing you look at all day next to your wife. Oh, oh yeah, that XR7 will pretty much launch itself across the road, where the Nissan Sentra, you have to stand on it just to get out into the road. Oh, oh yeah, that's nice. Yeah, I'm trying to think, what else have I driven? I've driven a lot of stuff. Like I got a story from autocross you guys would probably would laugh at. I was still autocrossing my truck at the time. Guy comes walking up to me. We had this thing at the end of the day we used to call fun runs. You give him $1. For every dollar you give, you can go take another run. Oops. But oh yeah, Pontiac was slaved by the Goebbels the same time Saturn was. I thought that was the dumbest thing, especially killing Saturn when GM did. Saturn in the whole GM scheme of things, when they axed Saturn and Pontiac, Saturn was the only one in the black and they axed it. I'm just like, that. What? The one company you could actually use to help pay off your debt, you axe. It made no sense. But getting back to what I was saying, I was ran that S10 and this guy comes walking up to me. I didn't I'd never even talked to this guy all day. He throws me keys to his car. He goes, I want you to drive. Hey, what's up, Will? He says, I want you to drive my car like you drive your pickup truck. Well, if you guys see me drive my S10 when I was autocrossing, I drove that truck like I hated it. I would pound the living hell out of that low S10. It'd always come back for more and always come back harder. And I looked at him and says, what kind of car do you have, first of all, before you even go any further? He pointed across the parking lot. It's a BMW 820. It is pretty much an entry level supercar. V12 at the time, the car at that time, the collector value on a car is about $150,000 car, and he's throwing me the keys to him and telling me to drive like my pickup truck. I'm like, I threw him back the keys. I'm like, no, no, I want no parts of this. He goes, I insist. I'm like, I don't want to break your car, dude. You see how hard I drive that pickup truck. I tried driving that BMW like that. I don't want to break anything. He says, I'll cover it. And he like put the keys in my hand and literally shoved me in the car. I'm like, okay, it's your car, dude. You said you covered if I break something, so here we go. So we go out in the North Park parking lot. I launch that thing like John Force leaving the line at Pomona. Probably smoked the tires all the way across the parking lot. Got into the first turn, got it sideways, and pretty much just hammered on that car the whole way through. We come across the finish line. A guy looked at me and says, "Remind me not to do that again." Says, I told you the first time, but you had to find out for yourself." So, oh, was that fun though? And even liking the American cars like I do, which I love the American cars. I see why BMW is called the driving machine because that thing was just precision on wheels. Oh, but that was a good time. That was kind of a funny thing for me because I'm just like, yeah, about the only exotic car or supercar that I've driven in my life. The guy told me he beat the hell out of it. I'm like, okay, whatever you say there, pal. What the BMW is? Well, of course, the BMW I was driving was a 6-speed stick. So, and most sticks. Oh, I bet you that was interesting, Jay. I bet you that was real interesting. 135 miles an hour, just one little tiny shake of the steering wheel. I think probably felt like it was going to roll over. Okay, FOP, I'm not going to be that far behind you. We actually went about an hour and a half, and I was actually planning on going about an hour. Yeah, see you later. Have a good night, Finger Lakes. Exactly, Will. Yeah, in my pickup truck and autocross, so I used to get. I think 1 year I took out the most cones accidentally, and we had 8 autocrosses, and 6 out of the 8 autocrosses I got what the unofficial Stevie Kinser works I sideways half the time. I'm still kind of up in the air about the 5.7 Hemi. I've helped work on 392 Hemis, and I helped the original 392 Hemis, and I've worked on 426 Hemis, and to me, like the 5.7 is like putting Hemi heads on a Chevy small block. I'm like, it doesn't impress me, dude. I think it's one of those things. Maybe if I drove one, maybe I have more of appreciation for it. Hey, what's up, Acacia? But I don't know. I guess they have to grow on me. A buddy of mine at work has a 396. I mean, a 392 Challenger. Oh, let's see if they'll let me. I'm not going to hammer on. I just want to take it for a ride and maybe get on just a little bit, just to see what it's like. Else he just stayed there. It's talking my language. That's my language right there. But it has to be a 1986 Audi Quattro S1 E2. Yeah, I'm a happy guy. I'm a huge Group B rally fan, and Group B was banned in 1986. Those Audi Quattros had about they were rated at 500 horsepower. They're closer to 750 horsepower, all-wheel drive, more downforce than a GTP car. and were just all around wicked. Actually, VW, I like VW bugs. Actually, Wes, I know a couple people that build small GMs with Buick V. They're putting the Buick turbocharged V6 out of T type in them, and the turbocharged motor was putting out close to 500 horse. You're able for the T types and regular Grand Nationals. You're able to buy all the aftermarket parts to turn it into a GNX motor, and those Gen X motors, turbocharged V6, those things are just absolutely wicked. Oh, that's it's kind of funny. I know somebody else that has a Honda 2000 like that. It's black on black, carbon fiber, everything on it. Has a supercharger about that big around hanging off the front of the motor, one of the big centrifugal jobs. And he's a preacher. I'm just like, I'm looking at the car. I'm like, wait a second, you're telling me, that a preacher owns his car? Yeah, a preacher owns his car. Says, this looks like something Darth Vader would drive. Okay. Oh, the Barracudas. Oh, oh yeah. That makes two of us, Wes. I had a Honda. I had a Honda Civic I was playing around with for a while. Loved that little car. Actually, Jay, he was a preacher on Wednesdays and on Saturdays. Sunday was his off day. It was one of those big mega church deals where they have about 8 services and about 5 different preachers and different days to come in. And I'm like, okay. Oh, that's cool, Wes. There's a couple people up here that you would love to hang out with because they did the same thing over the same time period. The one guy has a Mugen CV, was it Mugen CVC? Not it's before the Civic is what they built the Civic off of, but has like the little 1.3 Mugen motor in it. It's a wicked little ride. Um, Imagine a CCVC that can hit about 11,000 RPM. Actually, at that time for a Corolla, that was pretty damn good. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. I knew somebody had a little VW Fox that would run like that too. That little car was absolutely insane. It was a it was a VW Fox, but they did a motor swap and they put one of them supercharged Corrado motors in it, and they were able to get everything to fit underneath the stock Fox hood too. So it's just like this thing is just wow. Got that right, Jay. I love the movie Phantasm, all except for that part. The little silver ball of Phantasm. I used to love that thing. Let me see. Back in the '80s, that Corolla, that was that running that 22R motor too, or was that what was that, the 1.8? Yeah, because my buddy had that 22R motor, and well, he had like four different Toyotas with 22R motors in it, and especially the one with the electronic fuel injection and the one with the Minuki fuel injection on it, man. Even with the 33-inch tires, we'd be running with the sports cars. It was hysterical. The Honda Odyssey. Okay, the 1800. Oh, Celicas could be fun cars too. Yeah, but they had like you said, they pulled one wheel off the ground and have that wicked torque steer right off the line. We had one guy that was driving a first gen Celica, and he would launch it, and it would torque steer to the left with the left wheel hiked about a foot in the air. I mean, that thing was just we really savage. We at one point in time around here within the last year we had about five of them running around here, and I think the guy sold the one Super Celica, or Celica Super, I should say. He sold that for like $2,000, and the body was about gone on it. Yep, that's exactly what it was. Like the one thing I was looking for here in the states, talking about Toyotas, is I wanted a 1983 twin cam Celica with the turbo on it. Then I found out they never imported them to the states, but there's like four of them running around here now because of import laws. Those things just look like real fun. I didn't have that many wrecks by my 21st birthday, but I probably had about that many tickets. Yeah, there's a guy that was down in Monaca, not that far. Well, he was a buddy of mine I used to work with over at Saturn. He used to restore them. He'd start restoring one, and if somebody came and looked at it, wanted to buy it, then he'd start dealing with them. Well, what do you want me to do with it? Do you want like a stock restoration, or you want me to build the hell out of it? But I'm sitting here looking at the time. I think I'm going to call it here for tonight because I need to get to bed here in about 10 minutes. So, but I thank you all for coming, man. You guys are awesome. But I think I'm going to hit the sack here. So you all have a great night. All right. Hello, goodbye, Christy. Sorry about that, hon, but I'm about whooped here. But you all have a good night, and I'll probably catch y'all either tomorrow night at Nina's or Thursday at Spicy's or Friday at that Finger Lake Preppers. So see y'all later.